Welcome back, warriors of the GrimFace movement. To those of you returning, thank you for walking this path with us. A path not meant for the weak or the complacent, but for those who dare to rise above mediocrity and take control of their lives. And to those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the fire. This is where transformation begins. Today we dive into 10 lessons, 10 unshakable pillars that are not just tools, but weapons in your fight against mediocrity. These are not mere words to hear and forget. They are truths to engrave into the very fabric of your subconscious, to become part of who you are, so you can wield them instinctively on your road to success. Each of these lessons is a building block, and together, they create the foundation of an unbreakable mindset. We'll confront brutal truths, shatter limiting beliefs, and uncover the principles that will push you further, harder, and higher than you've ever gone before. This isn't just about learning. This is about rewiring your mind, sharpening your edge, and becoming unstoppable. The GrimFace movement is not just a channel. It's a call to action, a revolution for those who refuse to settle, who refuse to bow to the system, who are determined to carve out their destiny with their own hands. And now, it's time to take the next step. Whether you've been here from the start, or you're just stepping into the shadows with us, commit fully. Listen closely. Absorb these lessons. Let them reshape your thinking, fuel your fire, and drive you forward. This is not motivation. This is transformation. GrimFace is more than a movement. It's a mindset, a way of life. So, gear up. Because today, we're not just talking about success. We're forging it. The question is, are you ready to do what it takes? Let's begin. Lesson 1. Take responsibility for your life. You stand at a crossroads, staring into the abyss of your failures, your disappointments, and your broken dreams. The world around you feels cold, indifferent, a cruel mirror reflecting every missed opportunity, every moment you chose comfort over courage. But let me tell you a brutal truth. No one is coming to save you. The life you're living right now, you built it. Every choice, every excuse, every time you pointed the finger at someone else, that was you. It's not the government's fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not the economy, your boss, or your partner. It's you. You are the architect of your misery, the craftsman of your mediocrity. Does that sting? Good. Because pain is a gift that forces you to wake up. It's the only thing sharp enough to cut through the lies you've been feeding yourself. You've been telling yourself that life isn't fair, that the deck is stacked against you, that the world owes you something. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. The world owes you nothing. Not one damn thing. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, for someone to give you permission, for the universe to align in your favor. Take responsibility. Right here. Right now. Own your failures. Own your laziness. Own the fact that you've been living below your potential, because it's easier to blame others than to face the monster in the mirror. And that monster, that's where your power lies. That's the part of you that's been suffocating under the weight of your excuses. Set it free. Let the anger, the regret, the shame fuel you, not to wallow, but to rise. Because if you created this mess, you can also create something extraordinary. But it won't be easy. The path ahead is brutal. No one will applaud your efforts. No one will hold your hand. The world will still try to beat you down. But here's the difference. When you take responsibility, you become untouchable. Because no matter what happens, no matter how hard you fall, you know that you hold the reins. You have the power to change, to rebuild, to conquer. So ask yourself, will Will you keep hiding behind your excuses, letting life pass you by? Or will you rise, scarred but unbroken, to claim the life that's waiting for you on the other side of responsibility? The choice is yours. It always has been. Now make it. Lesson 2. Set clear goals and plan with purpose. You wander through life as if you have all the time in the world, drifting from one distraction to the next. Days turn into months, months into years, and one day, you'll look back and realize something chilling. You never truly lived. You existed, but you didn't live. You had dreams once, didn't you? Grand visions of what you could become. But where are they now? Buried under excuses, procrastination, and fear. Let me tell you something, if you don't set clear goals, if you don't give yourself a purpose, then life will give you one. And life's purpose for you is suffering. A life without direction is a slow death. You'll become a slave to the whims of others, to the chaos of the world, to the relentless march of time. You'll be pulled in every direction but your own, until there's nothing left of you but regret. Do you think success happens by accident? Do you think the powerful, the wealthy, the unstoppable forces of this world stumbled into their greatness? Number. They built it, step by painful step, brick by agonizing brick. And you're waiting for life to hand you a map, when you should be forging your own path with blood, sweat, and relentless determination. Goals are not dreams. Dreams are fragile. They shatter under the weight of reality. Goals are weapons. They are the tools you use to cut through the noise, the chaos, the endless excuses. But a goal without a plan is just a wish. And wishes are for the weak. Plans turn goals into reality. Plans give you the power to wake up every day, knowing exactly what you need to do to get closer to the life you crave. So here's the harsh truth. If you don't know where you're going, you're already lost. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're figuring it out. You know what you want, but you're too afraid to admit it, because admitting it means taking action. It means risking failure. But let me tell you this. The fear of failure is nothing compared to the pain of regret. Write your goals down. Carve them into your mind, as if your life depends on them, because it does. Break them into steps. Plan your days with ruthless precision. Cut out the distractions. Burn the bridges to comfort and complacency. And then, execute, with a focus so fierce that nothing can stop you. Not the critics, not the setbacks, not even your own doubts. You were not born to drift. You were born to dominate. But domination requires direction. It requires clarity. It requires a vision so vivid, so powerful, that it burns in your soul every single day. So I ask you, will you continue to wander, hoping for scraps of happiness? Or will you take control, set your goals, and plan your rise with the precision of a predator? The clock is ticking. The grave is waiting. What will you do with the time you have left? Decide, act, conquer. Your life depends on it. Lesson 3. Invest in personal development. Look around you. The world is a battlefield, and only the strongest survive. You think you can coast through life with mediocre skills, average knowledge, and a mindset that crumbles at the first sign of adversity? Let me make this clear. The weak are devoured, forgotten, and discarded. If you're not growing, you're dying. There is no middle ground. Your life, as it stands today, is a direct reflection of who you are. Your bank account, your relationships, your health, your opportunities, every one of them is a mirror showing you the results of the person you've allowed yourself to become. And if you don't like what you see, the blame falls squarely on your shoulders. But here's the harsh truth. No one is going to hand you the tools to fix it. No one is coming to elevate you, to teach you, to make you better. If you want more, you must become more. If you want to escape the pit of mediocrity, you must sharpen your mind, your body, and your soul into weapons capable of conquering whatever stands in your way. Personal development isn't a luxury. It's survival. It's war against the mediocrity that seeps into your life like poison. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every ounce of effort you put into becoming stronger, smarter, and more capable is a weapon in your arsenal. The moment you stop investing in yourself, you're signing your own death warrant. Because in this world, stagnation is just another word for failure. Ask yourself, how much time have you wasted? How many hours have you squandered on mindless entertainment, empty conversations, or scrolling through meaningless distractions? All that time could have been spent building yourself into something formidable, something unstoppable. You could have learned a skill, mastered a craft, read the books that would give you the edge. But you didn't, and that's on you. So what will you do now? Will you continue to rot in the comfort of your excuses? Or will you rise, take responsibility, and begin the relentless pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself? Because the truth is, every second you waste is another nail in the coffin of your potential. Growth is painful. It demands sacrifice. It requires you to face your weaknesses, confront your fears, and destroy the version of yourself that clings to the familiar. But through that pain, you will emerge stronger, sharper, and more dangerous than ever before. Invest in yourself, because no one else will. Build yourself into a force that cannot be ignored. And when you stand at the top, looking down at the world you once feared, you'll realize that the price of personal development was a small cost for the power it gave you. So, I leave you with this. Will you continue to be a victim of your circumstances? Or will you take up arms and shape yourself into the master of your destiny? The choice is yours. But remember this, your potential doesn't wait forever. Act now or be forgotten. Lesson 4. Master discipline and habits. You think success is about talent, luck, opportunities handed to you on a silver platter? No. Success is about discipline. It's about habits forged in fire, shaped by pain, and repeated with ruthless precision. Without discipline, you're nothing. A wanderer in the fog, lost and aimless, doomed to a life of mediocrity. Let me tell you a brutal truth. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're uninspired, if you don't feel like it. Discipline is the cold, unyielding voice that tells you to get up and do it anyway. It's the force that drags you out of bed when the weak are still sleeping. It's the engine that drives you forward when every part of you wants to quit. Habits are the foundation of your life. Look at your daily actions, the small, repetitive things you do without even thinking. Are they building you into something powerful? Or are they destroying you, one wasted moment at a time? Every habit you create is a brick in the structure of your future. The question is, are you building a fortress, or are you digging your own grave? Discipline is not glamorous. It's not flashy. It's waking up early when the rest of the world sleeps. It's grinding in the shadows while others are distracted. It's saying no to the easy path, to the temptations that promise comfort, but deliver only decay. Discipline is sacrifice, and sacrifice is the price of greatness. You know what separates the strong from the weak? The strong do what needs to be done, not what they feel like doing. They embrace the monotony of effort, the grind that others fear. They understand that discipline is freedom, the freedom to shape your life instead of being enslaved by impulses and distractions. But here's the dark truth. Discipline isn't given. It's taken. It's It's wrestled from the grip of laziness, excuses, and fear. It's earned through blood, sweat, and relentless commitment. And if you fail to master it, life will master you. The world will crush you under the weight of your wasted potential. So, what will you choose? Will you remain a slave to your desires, chasing fleeting pleasures while your dreams rot in the corner? Or will you rise, forge habits that sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, and harden your resolve? Will you become the architect of your destiny, or a victim of your own indiscipline? The clock is ticking. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Stop waiting for motivation. It's a lie, a fleeting spark that dies out. Build discipline instead, because discipline is eternal. It will carry you through the storms, through the darkness, through the fire. This is your wake-up call. The life you want, the person you want to become. It's waiting for you on the other side of discipline. But you have to fight for it. So fight, grind, suffer. And when the weak fall away, you'll still be standing, unshaken and unstoppable. Master discipline, or it will master you. The choice is yours. Make it. Lesson 5. Embrace the law of averages. The law of averages is simple. The more you try, the greater your chances of success. But you, yes, you, have been hiding from this truth. You've convinced yourself that failure is the enemy, that rejection is a sign you're not good enough, and that quitting is safer than risking humiliation. Let me make this clear. Every time you shy away from trying, you're digging your own grave, one shovel of wasted potential at a time. Here's the truth no one tells you. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the process. It's the brutal, unrelenting teacher that separates the weak from the strong. The world doesn't care about your excuses or your fear of rejection. It rewards those who are willing to keep going, to face failure again and again, until success is inevitable. You think successful people are lucky? That they have something you don't? Number. The only thing they have is grit, the willingness to endure rejection, pain, and disappointment more times than you're willing to try. They understand the law of averages. They know that every no brings them closer to a yes. Every setback is just another step on the road to mastery. But you're afraid to put yourself out there. You've let the fear of failure paralyze you, like a prisoner locked in a cell of your own making. And while you sit there, afraid to act, someone else is out there taking the risks you won't. Someone else is failing forward while you stagnate in your comfort zone. The law of averages is ruthless. It demands effort. It demands persistence. It demands that you keep showing up, even when the odds are stacked against you. Every action you take is a roll of the dice, and the more you roll, the better your chances of hitting the jackpot. But if you never roll, you've already lost. So, what will you do? Will you let fear dictate your life? Will you let the sting of failure keep you from trying again? Or will you rise relentless and unshaken, knowing that every failure is just another step closer to success? The choice is yours, but know this: time doesn't wait. Every second you spend hesitating is another second wasted. You can either embrace the law of averages, put in the work, and face the rejections, or you can stay in the shadows, invisible, forgotten. Get out there. Take your swings. Fail 100 times if you must, but don't you dare stop. Because success is not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's reserved for the relentless. And when the dust settles, when the weak have fallen away, you'll stand tall, a testament to the power of persistence. So go ahead, roll the dice, fail forward, and keep going until the world has no choice but to give you what you've earned. Success doesn't belong to the timid, it belongs to the relentless. Be relentless, be unstoppable, and never stop rolling. Lesson 6. Surround yourself with the right people. Look around you. The people in your life right now, the ones you call friends, co-workers, family. Are they building you up, or are they quietly dragging you down? Are they fueling your fire, or are they smothering it with doubt, negativity, and mediocrity? Because here's a truth most people are too afraid to face. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you're surrounded by the weak, the fearful, the complacent, then that's exactly what you'll become. Your environment is shaping you every second of every day. You think you're strong enough to resist it? You're not. The people you let into your life are the whispers in your ear, the voices in your head, the shadows that influence your every decision. Surround yourself with fools, and you will stumble. Surround yourself with greatness, and you will rise. But here's the brutal part. Cutting ties is hard. It's painful to walk away from the familiar, to burn the bridges of relationships that no longer serve you. But let me ask you this. What's more painful? Hurting someone's feelings, or living a life of regret because you let them hold you back? The right people won't coddle you. They won't tell you what you want to hear. They will challenge you, push you, make you uncomfortable. They will demand more from you because they see what you're capable of, even when you can't see it yourself. And the wrong people? They'll drag you into the abyss of excuses, self-pity, and wasted potential. This is not about arrogance. It's about survival. It's about building a circle so strong, so unyielding, that nothing can break you. Find people who inspire you, who make you feel alive, who force you to level up just to keep up. And if you can't find them, then walk alone. Because it's better to walk the path of greatness in solitude than to be dragged down by the weight of mediocrity. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your life. Choose your circle wisely, because your circle is your reality. Let go of the anchors, the leashes, the ones who only take and never give. And when you do, you'll feel a freedom, a clarity, a fire that you didn't know you had. So I ask you, who's in your circle? Are they lifting you higher, or are they chaining you to the ground? Answer honestly, because the stakes couldn't be higher. This is your life, your legacy, your destiny. Protect it with everything you have. The clock is ticking. Surround yourself with the wolves, the warriors, the relentless ones who refuse to settle. Because in the end, it's not just about who you are, it's about who you become. And who you become is determined by the company you keep. Choose wisely. The future is watching. Lesson 7. Work on your communication skills. Words. Simple, fleeting, overlooked. Yet they hold the power to build empires or burn them to the ground. And you've underestimated their weight. You stumble through life with weak words, clumsy thoughts, and an inability to articulate what you truly mean. Do you know what that makes you? Invisible, forgettable, powerless. Communication isn't just a skill, it's a weapon. It's the sharpest blade you'll ever wield, the tool that can carve your path to influence, dominance, and success. The question is, are you sharpening it, or are you letting it rust? Because in this world, if you can't express yourself, you're a pawn. If you can't speak with conviction, you're a ghost. And if you can't make people listen, you're already lost. Think about it. Every deal you close, every connection you make, every opportunity you seize, it all hinges on your ability to communicate. But you've allowed yourself to be weak. You've settled for mumbled words, half-formed ideas, and a presence that commands nothing. And then you wonder why the world ignores you. Here's the brutal truth. No one cares about your potential if you can't make them see it. No one cares about your ideas if you can't explain them with clarity and power. The world is noisy, chaotic, and unforgiving. If you don't learn to make your voice rise above the rest, you'll drown in the silence of irrelevance. So, what are you going to do about it? Will you keep hiding behind your excuses, telling yourself that communication isn't your strength? Or will you rise, sharpen your tongue, and learn to speak like your life depends on it? Because it does. Every word you say shapes how the world sees you, how it treats you, and ultimately, how far you go. But here's the catch. Communication isn't just about speaking. It's about connection. It's about reading the room, understanding your audience, and weaving your words into something that grips their minds and won't let go. It's a game, and if you don't learn the rules, you'll always be a spectator. Work on your voice. Hone your presence. Study the art of persuasion, of storytelling, of commanding attention. Stand in front of a mirror, rehearse until your throat burns, and refine your message until it's sharp enough to cut through doubt and hesitation. Make people listen, not because they have to, but because they can't help themselves. So I ask you, will you let your voice be a whisper, lost in the chaos? Or will you transform it into a roar, a force so undeniable that the world has no choice but to pay attention? The choice is yours. But remember this, words are power. Master them, or remain at the mercy of those who do. Speak, and the world will listen, or stay silent and watch it pass you by. Decide. The clock is ticking. Lesson 8. Learn from failure and stay persistent. Failure is the shadow that haunts you, the specter that whispers in your ear, telling you to quit, to stop trying, to accept a life of mediocrity. But here's the truth. Most people can't stomach. Failure isn't your enemy. It's your greatest weapon. It's the fire that forges you into something unstoppable, if you have the courage to face it. You've been taught to fear failure, to see it as a reflection of your worth. But that's a lie. Failure isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's the blood price you pay for growth, for strength, for greatness. Every time you fall, every time you stumble, the world is giving you a choice. Rise or stay down. And the weak? They stay down. They make excuses. They tell themselves the game is rigged, that they weren't meant to win. But you're different. You're still here. And that means you haven't given up yet. Let me tell you something about persistence. It's not pretty. It's not glamorous. It's waking up every day to fight battles you thought you'd already won. It's grinding through the pain, the doubt, the endless voices telling you to stop. Persistence is raw. It's brutal. But it's the only path to victory. Failure will break you if you let it. It will crush your spirit, shatter your confidence, and leave you in ruins. But only if you let it. If you have the courage to stand back up, to face the same challenges that knocked you down, you'll realize something powerful. Failure isn't permanent. It's temporary. And every time you push through, you get stronger. You learn. You adapt. You evolve. Look back on your life. Every moment of growth, every shred of progress, came from a failure that taught you something. A failure that revealed your weaknesses, exposed your flaws, and forced you to confront the truth about yourself. And that's where your power lies. Not in avoiding failure, but in embracing it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to burn brighter than ever before. So stop fearing failure. Stop letting it control you. Face it, fight it, and rise above it. Because the world doesn't reward the timid. It rewards the relentless. It rewards those who refuse to stay down, who keep moving forward no matter how many times they fall. Ask yourself, how much are you willing to endure? How many failures can you take before you break? Because success doesn't go to the most talented or the most fortunate. It goes to the one who refuses to quit. The one who stares failure in the face and says, "You won't stop me." This is your moment. Will you let failure define you, or will you use it to become something greater? The choice is yours. Stand up. Keep going. And when the dust settles, you'll stand alone at the top, battle-scarred, unbroken, and unstoppable. Failure isn't your enemy. It's your proving ground. Embrace it, master it, and rise. Lesson 9. Balance work and lifestyle. You think you're invincible, don't you? That you can grind endlessly, sacrifice your health, your relationships, your joy, all in the name of ambition. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor, as if burnout is the price of greatness. But let me ask you this. What's the point of climbing to the top if you destroy yourself along the way? This world will tell you to hustle, to push harder, to give everything. And yes, discipline and work are non-negotiable. But here's the dark truth you need to hear. If you let work consume you, it will devour you whole. It will chew up your time, your energy, your very soul, and leave you with nothing but hollow victories. Success without balance is failure in disguise. What good is wealth if you're too sick to enjoy it? What good is power if you've alienated everyone who cared for you? What good is reaching your goals if you're left standing alone in the ashes of everything else? A life consumed by work isn't success, it's slavery, and you're the one tightening the chains. Balance isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's the foundation that holds your empire together. Without it, you're nothing but a ticking time bomb, waiting to implode. You need to fuel the machine, your body, your mind, your spirit, or it will collapse under the weight of your relentless ambition. But make no mistake, balance doesn't mean laziness. It doesn't mean you stop striving, stop pushing. It means you learn to prioritize what truly matters. It means you sharpen your focus, cut the noise, and invest your time wisely. Balance is about aligning your work with your values, making sure the life you're building is one you actually want to live. So stop pretending that burnout is noble. Stop glorifying the grind while neglecting your health, your loved ones, your passions. Life isn't just about the finish line. It's about the journey. And if you're too blind to see that, you'll find yourself at the top of a mountain with nothing but regret for company. Ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like? Not just your career, but your life. What kind of person do you want to be? Because the time you waste chasing hollow achievements is time you'll never get back. This isn't a call to slow down. It's a call to get smarter, to work with purpose, to make sure the life you're building isn't just successful, but meaningful. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Don't let that be your legacy. So take a breath, reassess, and remember, balance isn't the enemy of greatness. It's the foundation of it. Build your empire, but don't destroy yourself in the process. The grave doesn't care about your resume. Live a life that matters, one with strength, passion, and purpose. The clock is ticking. Choose balance, or watch everything you've worked for crumble under the weight of your own neglect. The choice is yours. Make it wisely. Lesson 10. Focus on value and service. The harsh truth is this. The world doesn't care about your dreams, your struggles, or your excuses. It cares about one thing: what you can offer. What value do you bring? How do you serve? Because if you bring nothing, you are nothing. You'll be overlooked, discarded, left to rot in the shadow of those who understand the power of creating value. Think about it. Every relationship, every opportunity, every ounce of success hinges on one question. What are you worth to the people around you? If all you do is take, consume, and demand, you are a leech, a parasite waiting to be crushed by the relentless tide of those who give. Value is the currency of this world, and if you're not providing it, you're bankrupt. But let me tell you something else. Value isn't about being nice or helpful for the sake of appearances. It's about power. When you solve problems, meet needs, and exceed expectations, you don't just gain respect, you gain leverage. You become indispensable. You rise above the competition because you're no longer just another face in the crowd. You become the person everyone needs. So ask yourself right now, what do you bring to the table? Are you creating something that matters? Or are you wasting time, waiting for life to hand you opportunities you haven't earned? Because opportunities don't go to the entitled. They go to the valuable. And if you're not valuable, you're invisible. To create value, you must first destroy the lies you tell yourself. The lie that you're good enough. The lie that someone else will handle it. The lie that it's not your responsibility. Stop waiting. Identify the gaps, the problems, the pain points around you, and attack them. Become the solution. Become the person who gets things done, who delivers more than anyone expects, and who never settles for mediocrity. This is not about selflessness. This is about survival. The more value you create, the more power you gain. And with power comes freedom. The freedom to shape your life, your relationships, your future. But power isn't handed out. It's earned, forged through sweat, persistence, and an unrelenting focus on service. So I ask you, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to become the person who offers so much that the world cannot ignore you? Or will you fade into obscurity, just another nameless figure lost in the crowd of the average? Decide now, because every day you waste is another day someone else is rising while you remain stagnant. The clock is ticking. Build value, create leverage, serve with purpose, not to please others, but to build an empire they cannot take from you. Focus on value or be forgotten. The choice is yours. Make it. You've just been handed the keys, the 10 lessons that, if burned into your subconscious, will become the foundation of your strength, your resilience, your success. But remember, knowledge alone is nothing. Action is everything. You can't just listen. You must live these truths. You must embody them until they define you. To our returning warriors, you've come this far because you understand that growth is relentless. There's no finish line. There's only the grind, the progress, and the climb. And to those who are new to the GrimFace movement, know this. You've taken the first step into a world that demands more of you than you've ever given, but will reward you with more than you've ever dreamed. The GrimFace movement is about more than survival. It's about domination. It's about breaking free from the chains of mediocrity and forging a path that's unapologetically yours. Together, we're building an army of individuals who refuse to bow, who refuse to break, and who rise above the noise of a world built to keep them small. But here's the challenge. Will you take these lessons and let them sit idle? Or will you carve them into your mind and wield them like weapons? The choice is yours. The work is yours. The victory will be yours, but only if you earn it. If you found value in this, share it. Spread the word. Bring others into the shadows, where strength is forged and weakness is left behind. Hit that subscribe button, join the movement, and prepare for what's next. Because this is just the beginning. Until next time, stay relentless, stay unbreakable, and remember, in this game, we don't follow paths. We blaze them. This is GrimFace. Your destiny is waiting. Now go take it.